What's up, everybody? This is where you want to be. Welcome to fucking Religious Bullshit Wednesdays Live. A very special episode of Prog Talk that we do on Wednesdays where we cover all of the craziest religious stories of the week. And it's amazing how many new crazy religious stories there are every week. All of the stories I'm going to cover tonight are pretty much new. And we're going to do about an hour tonight. It's got all this stuff to cover. Don't really have enough for a full 2-hour show, but got plenty for an hour, so gonna hit that. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm sorry I missed Monday's show. We had some technical difficulties. I live in Mississippi and the infrastructure here is still pretty primitive. So we had a little bit of internet problems Monday, but we're back. Hopefully eventually I better get my shit together and do 3 shows a week. But 2 shows is pretty good. So how's everybody doing? Good evening. Hopefully you're staying healthy and happy out there. Dusted. What up, fellow comrades? What's up, MM Red? How you doing? Fellow dust buddies out there, as you call yourselves. This is where you want to be. I know, right? Good evening, Dustin. Knock 'em dead, kid. I will do my best, spank your weasel. Thank the Corona God you are on. I was so bored today, I know, right? You guys need me to help you through this quarantine. It's so boring. Dustin, did you hear Joe Rogan is moving to Spotify? Hell yeah. Giving that dude $100 million. Holy fucking shit. I don't think Spotify's going to make their money back, to be honest with you. I think Joe Rogan's more popular on YouTube and people know to watch him on there, to listen to him on there, and him moving over there. In my experience, you have a harder time getting people to move from the platforms you're used to. So, like, some of the Joe Rogan fans are going to move over there, but I think it's going to be a small percentage of the ones that watch him on YouTube. So, don't think that was a very smart idea on Spotify's part, but, you know, we'll see. We're going to talk about that a little bit on Friday. But today we're going to talk about religious bullshit, not politics. So, anyone see the new Potholer 54 video? Nope, didn't see that. Screw bro Rogan. I know, right? Fuck that dude. $100 million though. Holy shit. Why does he have such a hard on for transvestites? Don't know. I like everybody pretty equally, so don't have any infinity specifically for transvestites or transgender people, which are not the same thing, but I will defend people who are exploited and downtrodden and picked on, because that's what heroes do. They use their power and their privilege to help those who are less advantaged than them. So I have no problem doing that, and I'm honored to be in a position I can do that. Hey, Dusty, a lot of love from Ireland. What's up, Gorilla 181? Good to see you. Scarlet S. Hey, Dusty. No Joe Rogan on YouTube, meh. He'll probably have like short videos on there that advertise the 2-hour-long podcast or whatever. But I don't know. Wish I could make me some of that money. YouTube is getting exclusive deals with PewDiePie, backing up the fucking truckload of goddamn money. Fucking fleas, man. I can't get rid of these goddamn fleas. I don't know what to fucking do. I'm going goddamn nuts with the fucking fleas. Like, I spent like $600 goddamn dollars on flea medication last month. We're trying 3-4 different kinds at a time, man. Got the pills, got the fucking drops in the back, dude. Everything we can. I got these little fucking traps, dude. This fucking flea trap I put up every night. Collects all kinds of goddamn fleas. Still can't kill all the fleas. I'm going crazy with the goddamn fleas here. Which reminds me, if you guys want to support the show, Patreon.com/podcast. We do a lot of good work here at the Humanist Society Mississippi Animal Sanctuary, where we rescue cute-ass little dogs and kittens that are about to be put down at the kill shelters, and we give them a forever home, and we make them happy and fat and spoiled, and then we get fleas all over myself all goddamn time. I'm getting eaten by fleas. But that's my lot in life. If you'd like to help out, please consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/podcast. $1 or $2 a month, whatever you can afford, please chip in. We can really use it. And also, Super Chats! Lifeblood of the show, Super Chats. No questions dodged. Every question answered. No Super Chat yet. If you guys want to see me do these Wednesday religious videos, please consider supporting me on the Super Chat. Otherwise, I won't be able to afford to continue doing this. But for now, we're being supported pretty good on the Patreon, so I'm not going to complain too much. But I read all the questions on Super Chats. If you guys want to support the show, click the little dollar sign down here at the bottom of the chat. Donate whatever you want to, so I will read your question. You can immortalize yourself forever on my show. And the more you donate, the more serious I take your questions. So buy my love in the Super Chats. And let's check the other chats, see what you guys are saying. Welcome back, no problem. Greetings from Portland. Hey, what's going on in Portland? Greetings from Algeria. I'm all over the world. Worldwide 2019. It's 2020, I know, but I'm just doing me some fucking ninja. Jesus saves and only takes half damage. Hell yeah, Jesus is like a healer, right? He's a social justice healer. You always make my day. You always make my day. Lockman Axel Dejabidabidabida. However you pronounce that hard to pronounce name. Dusty, if you drink apple cider vinegar daily, these fleas will stop bothering me. I don't believe that fucking bullshit. Goddamn, my ex-wife used to make me drink apple cider vinegar every goddamn day. She's like, oh, your body's got to be more alkaline. That's how you keep your body healthy, alkaline. I used to drink that goddamn shit every day, and it's terrible. Didn't do fucking shit for me, you lying goddamn fucks. Don't tell me to do that. Tactical nuke the fleas. I wish I could. I wish I had a little flea nuclear bomb. I'd goddamn suitcase nuke those motherfuckers into oblivion. Ain't no doubt about it. Captain Dustas, Island Rocks, yep. Mr. Worldwide, hell yeah. Got more hair, though, than the other Mr. Worldwide. Pitbull, who was terrible, in my opinion. Dusty, I debated a Christian on Facebook. And guess what? They reported my account, LOL. I'm not surprised. It happens. I've had my account reported so many goddamn times. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right. Let's go ahead and kick off the show tonight. First off, did you guys know that it's Draw Muhammad Day? Hell yeah. So this is the holiday where we draw Muhammad in order to basically tell Muslims that we're not scared of you. You can threaten us with death. You can say we're going to be beheaded, but we don't give a fuck. We don't have to respect your stupid religion. We don't have to respect your stupid God. And we don't have to respect your stupid beliefs. Telling us, oh my, you're not allowed to fucking draw Muhammad. It's a fucking sin that you'll burn in hell. Burn me in hell for eternity, motherfuckers. I look forward to being wherever you guys ain't. So today, in honor of the Draw Muhammad Day, I'm going to show you the greatest drawing of Muhammad video that has ever been made. And it was made by a little YouTuber named Dusty Smith from the Cult of Dusty. And it's called The Prophet Muhammad Explains Why He Is Not a Pedophile. This is some classic ass Dusty shit, so it's only 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Let's have a look.
What's up, bitches? I am the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto myself, and I want to make something clear once and for all. I am not a pedophile, okay? I'm sick of people saying that. I'm sick of people saying, oh, Prophet Muhammad, he's a pedophile. I'm not a pedophile, okay? Now, I admit it. It is a historical, undeniable, indisputable fact that when I was in my 50s, I married a 6-year-old child. Okay, I did that. I admit it. Guilty as charged. But I'm not a sicko, okay? I'm not a pervert. I did not have sex with her until she was 9. Okay, 9 years old. I waited 3 whole years before I had sex with my own wife. So I think I need some credit for that shit. I think I deserve some credit, okay? And look, I am a man of God. If anybody would know God's rules, I think it would be me. I know all of God's rules, including God's most important rule. If there's grass in the field, play ball. And yeah, she was only 9 years old, so there wasn't like a whole lot of grass in the field. I mean, there wasn't enough grass to play a regulation-sized game or anything. But that's the beautiful thing about the word grass. It can be used both for singular or plural, as in a field of grass or a blade of grass. So basically, loophole. That's all I'm saying. I found a loophole, and I think that this loophole means that I am not a pedophile, okay? So in conclusion, my name is the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto myself. And even though I had sex a bunch of times with a girl when she was 9 years old, and then a bunch more times when she was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, even though I had sex multiple times with an underage girl, that does not mean that I'm a pedophile for some reason, according to Muslims. So assalamu alaikum to all my bitches out there, and all you 9-year-old girls, holla.
Pop goes the pedophile. Yep, he a pedo. Fuck your God, fuck your Muhammad, fuck your prophet, fuck everything about that. You guys are disgusting and nasty, and you should be called out for it, period. You know, you have to walk a tightrope, sort of. You don't want to condemn everybody who's a Muslim simply because they're a Muslim. You know, you can, if they start spreading Islam, you can condemn them for that. You can push back against their religion as hard as you want to, but don't be a dickhead to them just simply because they're a Muslim if they're not trying to spread it. Because, you know, there are some racial elements into that, and there's, you know, reasons you don't want to shit on people and make them feel bad because they're already downtrodden enough. A lot of them are really good people. However, that doesn't mean we have to fucking accept this religion. That doesn't mean we have to take it seriously. That doesn't mean we have to respect it. That doesn't mean we can't fucking speak out about it and mock it just like we do Christianity. So fuck you guys. And I hope you enjoyed that video. That was a little blast from the past. Many years ago. So now let's cover our COVID-19 religious bullshit. It's bad, folks out there. It's real bad, but it's also sort of funny a little bit. Pastor who claimed to cure COVID by laying of hands dies of COVID. Huh? Who could have seen this coming? He cured people by laying hands on sick COVID people, and he died from it. Starting to think you should have laid hands on yourself, dude. Starting to think that maybe you're not worshiping the right God. Maybe he abandoned you. Maybe it's your fault. A popular Cameroon prophet who claimed he could cure COVID-19 has died of the disease. Voice of America reports Franklin Nidifor, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, but close enough, a presidential candidate in the country's most recent election, delayed getting medical treatment after developing symptoms consistent with coronavirus infection. Dr. Gail Nunga said that Nidifor died less than a week after being diagnosed with COVID-19. He says that some members of Nidifor's Kingship International Ministry Church called him to come to the pastor's aid when they found out Nidifor was in agony, and that when the medical team he leads arrived, Nidifor was having severe respiratory difficulties. Despite medical intervention, the holy man joined the choir invisible the same day. I mean, he died. A follower of Nidifor's, Rigobert Che, is alarmed. Oh, really? You should be alarmed. This is a pastor that has been laying hands on the sick, Che said. Now that he's dead, I do not know how the people that he was laying hands on will be healed. Go to the fucking doctor. They weren't healed to begin with. Clearly, this dude doesn't have magical powers to heal people. If he did, he would have cured himself, right? Like, what more evidence do you motherfuckers need? They would literally believe anything, but these people don't believe he's actually dead. Oh my God, that's how brainwashed these motherfuckers are. They literally believe he's just taking a vacation from life and he's going to come back from the dead for soon because, you know, he's got Jesus' magical powers and he can heal that shit and he'll be back. Other Nidifor fans claim that actually their prophet died of a stomach ailment. Yeah, they never tell the truth. They never own up to it. He couldn't have died of coronavirus. Well, if he can cure coronavirus, why can't he cure a stomach ailment? Why did Jesus only give him certain powers to cure certain diseases? Stupid Jesus. While the most optimistic believers contended that with lots of prayer, they could raise their pastor from the dead. And why not? The ability of fervent believers to bring corpses back to life is the amazing promise of Matthew 10:8. Hundreds of followers sang Sunday morning at Nidifor's Douala residence that the man popularly referred to as the prophet is not dead, but he is rather on a spiritual retreat with God and return soon. Yeah, he's just chilling with God. I was like, dude, I'm totally fucking bored. I've been quarantined from this coronavirus for a couple months now. Come up, hang out, smoke each other out, and have a grand old time. And the dude's like, yeah, sure, kill me, God. I'll come up to heaven with you. They can resurrect me, and you can just prove to all my followers that I am some kind of magical spiritual man that has a direct line to Jesus. So I'm going to hold my breath till he comes back, because clearly the dude's going to be back any second now, just like Jesus himself. He isn't dead. He's resting. He's pining for the shores. He tried to shag out after a long squawk. Yeah, the governor of Cameroon, coastal region, said in a release he deployed police to force their way into Nidifor's residence when his followers chased medical staff away. Yeah, no wonder he's dead. Dumbasses chase the medical staff away, claiming that the pastor was on a spiritual retreat from God rather than dead and should not be buried. Holy shit, if this dude does come back, I'm going to double tap immediately. You want a zombie apocalypse, motherfuckers? Because this is how you get a zombie apocalypse. Oh, hell no. Hasn't The Walking Dead taught us anything by now? Fuck all this. Anyway, couldn't have happened to a nicer fellow. And thoughts and prayers with this dude, you know. Maybe you shouldn't have pretended to have magical powers when you didn't, you stupid motherfucker. And unsurprisingly, folks, a lot of these churches are reopening and then they're reclosing immediately because their pastors and priests are getting coronavirus all over the place. Here's one. Multiple priests come down with coronavirus in Houston church that reopened recently. We've heard about the reopening of churches, but what about reclosing them? Our religious friends can do both. Round and round the cycle goes. A Catholic church in the Houston area is closed again after 3 priests test positive for COVID-19. These guys were getting everybody in their congregation sick. There's no telling how many people they killed from this. According to the Holy Ghost Catholic Church, they recently learned 3 members of the Redemptorist community living and working at Holy Ghost Parish have tested positive for the coronavirus. That news report is already moot, or it was inaccurate to begin with, according to a statement by the church. 5 of the 7 remaining members of the community in question have the virus now. So 5 out of 7 of the priests, and an 8th one died of coronavirus, even though they're lying about it. So I'll read that in a second. I say remaining because Father Dono Kirchner, a senior priest, died of apparent pneumonia last Wednesday. Yeah, he didn't die of coronavirus. He died of a pneumonia, folks. Trust us. Yeah. Even though 7 of the other 9 priests got coronavirus, this motherfucker didn't. He died of something else. Unrelated. Trust us. Just trust us, folks. We're honest sort, aren't we? We would never rape your children and then use your money to cover it up. Nope. Had been active in celebrating public masses at Holy Ghost. Yeah, it says, the church, which reopened on May 2nd, has canceled all services until further notice, admitting that 2 now infected priests had been active in celebrating public masses as Holy Ghost. Yeah, they've been spreading that shit to everybody, probably putting their little COVID-19 crackers in your mouth, making you all drink out of the same stupid wine shit. Spread that shit all around, kill grandma. Who gives a fuck? They got to get their money. The Catholic Church, I'm going to show you in a minute, they're going bankrupt, which is amazing. It's one of the few good things to come out of the coronavirus thing. Like, I hate to say there's any good that's come out of this, but, like, at least the church get fucked a little bit. But on May 3rd and May 10th, both Sundays, there were in excess of 180 people inside the 900-capacity church. If anyone has attended masses in person at Holy Ghost Church, since the reopening, we strongly encourage you to monitor your health for any symptoms and be tested for COVID-19 as a precautionary measure. Yeah, if any of you guys are stupid enough to go to the Holy Ghost Church, you probably got the COVID. You better stay away from people. Don't go visit your grandma. Might want to get tested. Your ignorance is going to get you killed. So anyway, this is just one of many, many examples where this has happened all over the place. And here's another example. After reopening in April, Georgia church closes again following outbreak. Yeah, they reopen, they close. They reopen, they close. They're like, oh my God, we're not getting enough money. So they open up and the church leaders and their family get sick. And they're like, oh shit, God didn't help us. Turns out the blood of Jesus don't cure shit. Maybe we should close until we get better again. So you greedy fucks. On April 26, shortly after Georgia's governor foolishly began reopening some businesses and gathering places throughout the state, Catoosa Baptist Tabernacle in the city of Ringgold opened its doors back up for in-person services. Now it's closing again, and you'll never guess why. Take one guess! Bet you can't guess! Yes, you can. It's from Corona. Church Representative Joan Lewis told the Christian Post on Monday, however, that they decided to suspend in-person worship service for the foreseeable future on May 11th after learning several families had contracted the virus. Though we feel very confident of the safe environment we are able to offer in our facilities, well, then why'd you get COVID-19? Why did you and your family get sick? If you're so fucking sure that you guys have the ability to do this responsibly, then why are you fucking sick? The decision was made that we would discontinue all in-person services again until further notice in an effort of extreme caution for the safety and well-being of our families. The church did not say how many of their families were affected, but noted that only about 25% of congregants have participated in-person worship services during the time they had reopened. So all you motherfuckers better get goddamn tested. If you're stupid enough to go to these fucking churches, you're gonna get sick. A lot of you gonna die. You can't pray your way out of this one. And here's one from Reddit. This was some kind of scientific study they did. 35 out of 92 people, 38%, who attended services at a rural Arkansas church March 6th through 9th tested positive for coronavirus, ultimately killing 3 so far. Like, no telling how many they're going to kill. This is directly from the CDC talking about, yep, you reopen these churches, you're going to get people killed. They don't give a fuck about your life, folks. All these churches care about is money. That's all they've cared about from the beginning of fucking time. Their money-making scam operations. And, at least a couple of them are shutting down again after they get people killed. But, a little too late, in my opinion. And here's another example. California Christian with COVID-19 exposed 180 people during illicit church service. In California, Governor Gavin Newsom has tried to reason with churches to keep their doors closed and their services online. It's earned him the enmity of swaths of Christians as well as a few lawsuits. California Jesus fans, at least those of the hard conservative variety, chafe at the thought of the government telling them that physical church gatherings are unwise and, for the moment, illegal. And thus, many gathered for the Sunday prayer anyway, shoulder to shoulder, singing the hymns, "Damn the Coronavirus." Well, funny story about that. A person who later learned they were positive for COVID-19 attended California religious services on Mother's Day, exposing 180 other people to novel coronavirus, according to local health officials. The individual got positive diagnosis for COVID-19 the day after the service and is now in isolation at home, but County Public Health said in a statement Friday. People who attended the service had been notified about their exposure and received instruction from the health officials to self-quarantine, the statement said. Officials are working to get the testing for everyone who was in attendance. So, yep, if you're one of the dumb motherfuckers at this California church, might want to get tested. Folks, stay the fuck at home. Like, how many people have to die and suffer before you guys realize Jesus don't give a fuck about you? He doesn't exist to begin with, but let's say he does exist. Let's say that Jesus is up there somewhere looking down upon you. He don't seem to give a shit, folks. Okay, he's sort of an asshole. You might want to stop worshiping him. He could cure all this instantly, blink his eyes. He could have stopped it from happening to begin with, but he don't. Well, like, what is it, closing in on 100,000 people dead now? Yeah, starting to believe Jesus is a fucking dick. Let me take a minute and read the chats. See what you guys have to say in the chats. Any super chats yet? Let's see. Hey, a couple super chats. All right. Victoria Cunningham. What's up, Victoria Cunningham? Take my money. I will, Victoria Cunningham. Thank you very much. Fuzzies and doggies need medication. I know, man. This get crazy. I'm trying a new medication now. I've gone through 3 different kinds. We're going to try yet another fucking one. Don't know what the fuck is going out of my goddamn mind, but appreciate that. Thank you, Victoria Cunningham. More money for tactical flea nukes. I need it, man. Wish I had me like a suitcase nuke for those motherfuckers. Appreciate that, Tom Crowell. Lane Diggity, what's up? $10. What up, Dusty? What up, Lane Diggity? I missed 2 shows. No forgiveness. I missed 2 shows, so here's a 10 spot. Keep fighting the good fight, bro. We need your voice in the times of busters. I know, right? Definitely need more people covering the religious stories. I kind of feel bad because I haven't covered them for the last year, and there's so much to cover, so I need to get back on it. So it feels good to be covering this stuff again. Appreciate it. Hey, Dusty, love you. Hey, I love you, Rad. Watching you with my girlfriend, Brooke. What's up, Brooke? You got a good man there. Hang on to him. Appreciate that. More super chats, please. Please support the Wednesday show so I can keep doing them. Really appreciate it. Let me see what the regular chat has to fucking say here. Regular chat. Regular chat. What the fuck you gotta say? Regular chat. Jesus is just a copy of another religion. I know, right? They're all copies of other things. Probably the first man who learned how to speak scribbled some shit on a cave wall, and he's some kind of copy of that. I don't know about you, but I am not coming out of lockdown for quite some time. Whether we're allowed to or not, unlike the people in these articles, I'm not an idiot. Yep, I don't want to get my mom killed. Even if my mom's not worried about it. She believes a lot of stupid bullshit, but I care. So I'm going to do what I can not to get her killed. And I love you, Liv Vegan. Love you, Louis Guido. How you doing? Good to see you tonight. Damn, I completely missed that. Well, that makes my day a lot better. I don't know what you're talking about, but cool. SMT5 has been announced. What is SMT5? Let me think. What is SMT5? No clue. Still need to play SMT4. I don't even know what the fuck SMT is. You'll have to be more specific about that. Alright. The Old Testament is copies from ancient Canaanite mythology. I know, right? You just slightly change it. The people that are in control of religions, they want to control the masses, and so they take these stories and they use them, they twist them in order to scare people into following their cult. It's the way it's always goddamn been. Hopefully not the way it'll always be. Alright, let me go ahead and continue on. Hit me up the stimulus package 5? No, I don't think that's what it stands for. Hey, Cult Dusty, man, my grandma used to put rue or herbs of grace under the mattress for fleas, and it worked. Maybe it'll help you. That sounds like bullshit, but I will think about that. I will look into it. Appreciate the advice. I don't believe in any of those old-timey remedies. They always don't work, but I'll try it. I think Dusty would like SMT. What the fuck is SMT? It's a Japanese role-playing game. Shin Megami Tensei. Okay. They need to put some kind of American name on that. I don't abide by no foreignism. Hell nah. Speak English! That's why I hate watching shows from the UK. I'm like, man, I don't want to watch you foreigners. Would you please speak English? It's annoying. Nothing like beating down God and Satan. I know, right? Have you tried diatomaceous earth for fleas? Yes, I've tried that shit. That stuff's so fine. It's finer than sand. It's like flour. That's how fine it is. And nope, didn't work. I've done every fucking thing, dudes. Dusty loves men pretending to be female. I know, bride. Love that shirt. All about it. Or maybe I understand what gender is better than you do because I've actually read the experts and the science behind it. It's possible. I don't know. I'm sure you know more about it. I'm sure you've really researched it more than I have. I'm sure you know all about HRT and how cells in your body aren't really sexed, and they're actually waiting for cues for hormones. So if you change the hormones in your body to be closer to a cis woman than a cis man, then biologically at that moment you're closer to a cis woman than a cis man. I know you don't care about the science, though. Who cares? Science, right? Oh, trans women are men. Diggity dog. You guys are so smart. Hello, I thought it was a stimulus. Love the futanari. Anybody here see more butts? I love some see more butts. All right, let's continue on with the show. More super chats, please. Support the show. So anyway, back to the sad corona news. These two New York City churches lost 100 members to COVID. Now, I will admit right off the bat, these churches are actually closed. So I'm not blaming the churches for spreading the COVID-19 in this particular case. But the people that are members of the churches, 100 of them are dead now. And it's because COVID-19, as with most social crises, affects poor people and minorities more than, white people and wealthy people for a multitude of reasons. But like it always happens, right? The poor are always ones that suffer the most. They have the least access to health care, or the ones that can least afford to stay home and stay away from each other. They're more dependent on their communities for survival, and so they have to stay closer together. And in this case, it's Latinas, the Latino community. And they aren't doing very well. The worshipers at a Roman Catholic church in Queens, at a Lutheran church in Manhattan, are living that horror story right now. Between them, they've lost more than 100 people. Bishop Paul Egensteiner, who was elected to lead the Evangelical Lutheran Church Metropolitan New York Synod last year, that's a whole lot of words, said many majority Latino congregations in the city are being devastated by COVID-19, and some pastors reported that 25 to 30% of the congregation is infected, he said. The bishop told CNN he is angered by Americans who argue the pandemic has been overhyped. You have to be in a very privileged place to be able to say that. Yep, it's almost always white motherfuckers. These doomsday preppers who should have plenty of stockpiles and everything they need to stay home in quarantine, but nah, man, they gonna kill your grandma because they want to go get a fucking beer and a haircut, right? Egersteiner said, you either have blinders on or it's acute lack of awareness on how this virus has devastated communities. So at least this one church got a lick of goddamn sense. Not many of them, though. Speaking of one that don't, creationist Ken Ham. Good old Kim Ham, who built a giant fucking boat that don't even float to prove that a giant boat that could actually float could have two animals of every type on the earth on it at the same time. Bullshit! Bullshit for idiots. Anyway, he's reopening the Ark Encounter, and he's like, nah, you don't need no mask. Mask. He's like, they're forcing us to tell people on our website that the state recommends you wear a mask. You ain't gotta wear it, folks. Yeah, you look stupid in those masks, really. It's a fucking Christian museum. You're clearly going to be fine. Let's just respect each other, not wearing masks. And don't you guys want to go get sick and risk your life at this fucking stupid-ass boat that teaches you that evolution doesn't exist and the Earth is only 6,000 years old? I mean, what do you expect from a guy who literally doesn't believe that evolution doesn't exist? Obviously, he doesn't believe in virus. The entire theory of viruses is based around evolution, so go ahead, folks. Kill your grandmas. Kill your immunocompromised people by going to this stupid fucking museum and get everybody sick. Why not? Who gives a shit about your fellow human beings, right? You fucking cow dicks. Gracious Ken Ham, when Ark Encounter opens, you won't have to wear masks. That place shuts down tomorrow. Fuck everything about that. And here's the crux of the matter, folks. Are you ready for mass deaths in this country? We've already shown what it leads to. We've already shown they're reopening and closing immediately because people are getting sick. But in California, 3,000 churches vow to open on Pentecost Sunday in spite of COVID. That's 10 days from now, folks. Technically 11 days from now. They're going to reopen 3,000 churches in California alone. So, yep. I've always said it, folks. Christians going to get us killed. They going to get us all killed because they don't give a fuck. Oh my good goddamn, y'all. No fewer than 3,000 California churches promise to throw caution to the wind at the end of the month. To the pastors who run them, being open on Pentecost Sunday, May 31st, is more important than keeping fellow citizens safe from COVID-19. Matt Brown, who pastors Sandals Church in Riverside, California, blasted the governor's decision to deem churches not essential, saying he needs to step back and he needs to declare that the church is an essential part of what we do as Americans. No, it's not. It's just stupid. It don't matter. Why can't you fucking pray at home? The Bible even specifically says you're not supposed to pray in public. God damn it, just do a live stream like this. You can sit in your fucking bed on a comfortable bed chair. You can preach all you want to thousands of people at the same time and not risk their lives and kill their grandmas. They can still send you checks. You greedy fucks. Anyway, congregations of people from far and wide coming together in a closed space at a large scale remain a point of concern and anxiety for us. We are working on guidelines for physical distancing and working with faith leaders, talking about unique conditions in their own facilities. Nothing to be etched in stone. Yeah, how are you going to fucking have social distancing in a church? You're not. You're absolutely not. As we've seen, the preachers are usually the ones going to get it, and they're going to give it to all you motherfuckers, and you're going to die. If it was only you, I would still be sad, but I'd be slightly better with it. But the fact that you're going to get so many other people dead just shows you why religion is so fucking evil. God damn it. And this country's so fucking stupid. Like, I used to not be embarrassed to be an American. I guess I probably should be. It's probably just as dumb now as it was then. We have more evidence of how stupid it is now. But 63% of American believers think COVID is God's way of trying to change us. Yeah! You know, the all-loving, all-knowing God, he's killing 100,000 people to change us. You know, we're not doing exactly what he wants us to do. So he has to send a pandemic to murder a bunch of us to change our minds. You know, just like any loving parent would do. I mean, wouldn't you guys, if your kids weren't doing exactly what you wanted them to do, if they were disobedient to you slightly, wouldn't you send a virus to kill a small percentage of them to teach them a lesson so the other ones get in line? Isn't that what a loving parent would do? No. Then maybe you have more morals than the God you worship. Just saying. What do you get when you poll an irrational people? Irrational responses. Almost 2/3 of American believers think that the coronavirus is God's way of telling us to shape up, and 55% believe without rhyme or reason that God will protect them from getting infected. Well, that's not happening, isn't it? Is it? Because across the nation, the church members are the ones getting it like gangbusters, and of course, a lot of the church members are over 65, and man, over 65 is really getting it, so... Boomer remover, that's what they call it. That's a mean thing to say about it. Though slightly accurate in some cases, those are some key findings in a poll of 1,002 Americans by the University of Chicago Divinity School and the Associated Press NORC Center for the Public Affairs Research. The poll has a margin of a sampling error of plus or minus 40%. The poll finds 31% of Americans who believe in God feel strongly that the virus is a sign telling humanity to change, with the same number feeling that somewhat. Evangelical Protestants are more likely than others to believe that strongly at 43% compared to 28% of Catholics and mainline Protestants. In addition, black Americans were more likely than those of other racial backgrounds to say they feel the virus is a sign God wants humanity to change. Man, religion certainly has done the black community no favors whatsoever. Really need more leaders in the black community stand up and explain to them why this is the religion of their oppressors, you know, beat into them, tortured into them, generation after generation, until you guys are still spreading this stuff today, regardless of education, income, or gender. 47% say they feel that strongly, compared to 37% of Latino and 27% of white Americans. So, black folks, wake up! The religion of your oppressors is not helping you, and this is not God's punishment upon you. Okay? This is Donald Trump's punishment upon us, right? For cutting the CDC and eliminating the pandemic office that was supposed to help us not have a pandemic spread across our land, you know. Anyway, stupid motherfuckers everywhere. So sad, so sad. Let me check on the chat. What you guys got to say in the chat? COVID-19 is here because of all the idiots that refuse to believe in germ theory. And I literally have a guy in charge of it that doesn't believe in evolution. Mike Pence. We should be ashamed. And have you heard of Stellaris? Isn't that a movie? I think, maybe? I don't know. They touch way too much in church. I know they hug each other. They shake the preacher's hand. They do all kinds of shit to spread that stuff. Not safe. I love the cadence of it, but I am saddened by the term boomer remover. Yeah, it is sad. And mean. I don't like using that term. Get 3 coffins ready, Clint Eastwood, before he started talking to bar stools. Gonna talk to an empty chair for an hour. Good old Clint Eastwood. Is Mississippi a nice place? I may move there one day. I like Mississippi. Mississippi is the most religious state. It's also the fattest state. Those two things are related. But there is something here called Southern hospitality. And if you can get over the fact that so many people are dumb and religious and brainwashed, they're actually very polite, especially if you're a white and if you're a straight, handsome white man. You got it made around here. So I like it because this place was literally created to bow to my privilege, I guess. But I can understand how some people who are not as privileged as me would not like it. And I'm working to make that social change for everybody, so everybody can have the same experience here that I have. But it's pretty cool for me. Can't lie. Nice little town. Let's see. How can we get rid of X-gens? Like, I don't want to, like, eliminate them because that's genocide. They have the right to believe what they want to believe. I just want to, I guess, change their mind through mockery and ridicule and making an example out of them so that other people don't want to follow in their footsteps because they're the laughingstocks of our society and nobody wants to be a part of the laughingstocks. So basically mock them into extinction. I think that's the way to go about it. Dusty is an oppressor of a beast minority of transvestites. It's a tragedy. I know, right? I'm the worst. Dusty sucks. All right, let's see what you guys have to say in the Super Chat chat. Super Chat. What up? All right. Gavin Miller, Broomfield, $5. Long-time listener, first-time Super Chatter. Thank you, Gavin. Good to have you. Hope you're doing well, Dusty. I'm doing great. I cannot complain. Thank you for supporting the show, Gavin. Jolly Bro Dre, $5. I like your content, but unfortunately, I don't watch much because you don't show up in my recommendations. I know, like, they have basically removed me from the algorithm on YouTube. Like, I get messages every single day saying, hey, I used to watch you years ago, but they literally have not shown me a single one of your videos in the last several years. Even though you've made hundreds of videos, they literally don't show them to me. I'm subscribed to you. I have the bell rung, but like YouTube changed a while back to where they want to show you like PewDiePie or certain approved people like Steven Crowder or Jordan Peterson. And so the rest of us, they basically, for the most part, have removed from the algorithm. People make fun of me all the time. Look, Dusty, you're not popular anymore. Nobody watches videos anymore. Yeah, because like YouTube is removed from the algorithm. Like, that's not my fault. I didn't do anything. They just were like, fuck you, and they removed me, so it sucks. But what you gonna do, right? Sucks to be me. Shay Bobka, $9.99. I live around so many people that believe COVID is just a plot to microchip us and install 5G towers to track us and give us cancer. I'm about to give up on life. Well, don't give up on life. You are in good company here. There are a lot of people that are smarter than that. We just have to mock those people into non-existence. Ridicule until nobody wants to be like them. Hang in there, Shane Bobka and Ricardo Rosales. I can't read this, but I will read it when it pops up because it should pop up. Let me switch over. Maybe I can read it on the other one. There we go. For the fur babies, thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate it. One more from Careless Whiskers. Long time Mucha, first time Super Chatter. Thanks for keeping me entertained up here in Canada. No problem. Thank you for supporting the show. Means a lot. As long as you guys keep supporting the show, I'll keep doing it. Steven Crowder doesn't understand object permanence. Changed my mind. Can't do it. You get invited to any barbecues yet? I know this ain't the time, but I am a vegetarian, so I don't really get invited to many barbecues. But which town? Not gonna say which town I live in because it's a secret. People will fuck with me if I tell you what town I live in, but it's one of the towns in Mississippi, and it ain't a bad town. All right, let's continue on with the show. Here we go. 40 minutes into this show, so you guys might have seen this one. Goddamn Florida man who hopes God would defeat COVID-19 hysteria now has COVID-19. The story of a rideshare driver from Jupiter, Florida is one of the many heartbreaking illustrations of why science education and responsible news journalism is so important. Like far too many Americans, Brian Hitchens believed that COVID-19 was a made-up crisis related in some vague sense to a government conspiracy of some sort, as he explained to WPTV in West Palm Beach. I thought it was maybe the government trying something, and it was kind of like they threw it out there to kind of distract us. I get up in the morning and pray and trust God for his protection. And I just leave it at that. There were all these masks and gloves. I thought it looks like hysteria. Yeah. But it's not hysteria. God ain't gonna help you. I mean, why would God choose you to help? If God caused this pandemic to happen, why are you the fucking special one that he's gonna fucking save? If you read the Bible, usually the people that worship God the hardest, the ones he fucks over the most, wouldn't want to be anywhere near that goddamn psychopath. So anyway, I'm honoring what our government says to do during this epidemic, but I do not fear this virus because I know that my God is bigger than this virus will ever be. Jesus is the King and Lord of Lords. But he got the virus. He got it, yeah. He super got the virus. And then he wanted to say after he got the virus, many people still think that coronavirus is a fake crisis, which at one time I did too. And not that I thought it wasn't a real virus going around, but at one time I felt that it was blown out of proportion and it wasn't that serious. We kept on watching the news and kept on hearing about the spreading of the coronavirus, and to be honest, I didn't really think nothing of it. I still thought it was being blown out of proportion until about 4.5 weeks ago when I started to feel sick, and once I started to feel sick, I stopped working and stayed home. Yes, I came down with the coronavirus, and a couple of days later, after I started to not feel good, my wife started to not feel good, and we stayed at home quarantine, and my wife did go to the hospital to get tested, and they told her, yeah, you probably have the coronavirus, so go home and quarantine yourself. Well, a few days went by, and this guy should have prayed to God for some kind of Senate structure, because this is some run-on bullshit, and we both started feeling worse and worse and worse, to the point where we barely had any energy left to do anything, and all we want to do is sleep. So 3 weeks ago, Sunday, we decided not to play around with this anymore, and I had just enough energy to drive us to the hospital, Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center, and we both got confirmed that we had the coronavirus. They admitted us right away, and we both went to the ICU. I started feeling better within a few days, but my wife got worse to the point where they sedated her and put her on the ventilator. I was never put ventilator and started feeling better, feeling stronger, never had terrible aches and pains, just weak and exhausted. Even now, I am feeling better, a lot better than a few weeks ago, and I still have COVID-19 and some pneumonia in my lungs, and we've been here 3 weeks as of yesterday. As of today, my wife is still sedated and on a ventilator with no signs of improving. There were a couple times where they tried to start weaning her off the ventilator, but as soon as they've done that, her oxygen level dropped and they had to put her back on the ventilator full time. My wife has been sick before in the past quite a few times, and she always fought through to get better, but now after 3 weeks, I have come to accept that my wife may pass away, and the peace I have about it is that I know without a shadow of doubt that she will be going home to be with the Lord, but I also do believe in miracles, and I'm holding on the chance that she may get healed, but if not, I'm thankful for her. I know we've been married for, this is some run-on bullshit. Why are you still believing in God? Didn't you believe in him before? Didn't you be like, hey, he ain't gonna give us coronavirus? He's a miracle worker. We're fucking saved. And now you got it and you still believe in this motherfucker? How gullible are you eventually give up on this shit? If he exists, he clearly don't give a fuck about you and your wife. You should hope he doesn't exist, because if he does, that means some kind of psychopath with unlimited superpowers is in heaven fucking with the rest of us. That's more terrifying than not believing in him, isn't it? Anyway, long story short, he's like, don't be dipshits, it's real. Not a conspiracy, it gonna get you. And man, religion is such a fucking parody of religion. It's like you can't even parody it anymore because it's so stupid. So this priest is using a water gun in parishioners' cars. Yeah, it's religion now. Give me money and you can drive by and I'll shoot holy water at you through your car window. Real life, folks, real life. This is so dumb. One interesting thing about this pandemic is that it really shines a light as to what church leaders consider important and what they consider frivolous. Sermons, for example, are pretty vital. That's why many pastors have moved their sermons online, sharing them via Facebook or YouTube. They might skip the worship music these days, but not the sermon. It gets harder with rituals, though. You can't bless people with holy water in person, right? Well, at St. Ambrose Church in Grosse Pointe Park, near Detroit, Michigan, they found a way to offer people holy water while respecting COVID-19 related restrictions. It just involves a priest and a water gun. Look how absurd this shit is. Drive by and I can shoot your fucking Easter basket with the water gun. Yeah, so cool. Look at your goofy fucking outfit. This does nothing, folks. It's water. A guy's squirting you with the water gun. You fucking morons. Stay your asses at home. Good God, you fuckers are stupid as shit. And my mom was spreading this shit the other day, man. This pisses me the fuck off. It's so goddamn stupid. They're going to get everybody killed spreading this fake bullshit. Hardcore Christian rejects COVID vaccine that isn't here yet because stem cells. So basically, they're working on a specific vaccine, still in the formulation stages. But in this vaccine, they have replicated 2 genes that I guess they decoded the DNA from the 2 genes that were from an aborted fetus over 2 decades ago, and they're using that information. It's just code, folks. That's all DNA is code. They decoded part of the DNA of these fetuses that lived 2 years ago, then they've replicated that DNA in the laboratory and in mass. These are not the cells of aborted fetuses. They're just the information that was taken from a couple aborted fetus cells a couple decades ago. But they're like, nope, I ain't gonna take the vaccine because abortion. At universities and pharmaceutical companies as universities and pharmaceutical companies race to put out the first COVID-19 vaccine, some sectors of the religious right are gearing up to fight it, based on tenuous ties to what they call the abortion industry and biblical teachings about the mark of the beast. LifeSite News, a Catholic anti-abortion website, has gathered more than 350,000 signatures. It's now 400,000. On a petition protesting mandatory coronavirus vaccination orders, none of which have actually been issued. Yeah, they want to protest something that doesn't actually exist. They want to fearmonger you and scare you because that's how they make money. We see the usual Alex Jones type dross about how COVID fears may lead to the implementation of some hidden agenda of the government, of governmental as well as non-governmental bodies. Let me skip ahead. The Pontifical Academy for Life, National Catholic Bioethics Center, yeah, that exists, and former Pope Benedict, 16, have all determined that using vaccines cultured in stem cells is acceptable in the interest of public health good. Not least because they're so far removed from any actual abortions. Right, so listen to your Pope. At least he's good on this one particular issue. Normally they're stupid as shit. But just last year, the Pontifical Academy stated that parents could vaccinate their children with a clear conscience. Good. So why are you guys fighting it? You guys will get every goddamn body killed. In a breathtaking display of holier-than-thou-ness, however, some religious leaders have gone so far as to declare that they will not accept a COVID-19 vaccine developed with these products, even though experts the world over agree a vaccine is the best chance to stop a pandemic that has already killed more than 300,000 people. So sad, even with COVID-19, we are still debating the use of aborted fetal tissues for medical research, Bishop Jay Strickland of Tyler, Texas, tweeted in April. Let me go on record. If a vaccine for this virus is only obtainable if we use body parts of aborted children, then I will refuse to vaccinate. I will not kill children to live. But that is not what's happening whatsoever. You're just lying, and you're causing fear, which is going to lead to more children dying. It's going to lead to more old folks dying. So, yeah, you are the reaper of death, and you should be ashamed of your goddamn stupid ass. And, an influential evangelicals promoted the lie that essential oils can cure COVID. How are they allowed to get away with this, folks? In the podcast, Conversations with Gabe Lyons, Axe downplayed the threat of the novel coronavirus by claiming we've actually had worse threats in the past. Suggested the pharmaceutical industry and the media benefit from driving fear around the pandemic, and claimed he has complete confidence that he could either avoid infection from the coronavirus or defeat it in a few days by boosting his immune system through alternative methods such as ingesting ginger tea or oregano oil. Well then, fucking prove it. Start going on the front line, start volunteering at hospitals, start handing out fast foods, get you a job sacking groceries. Let's show everybody your faith in action and just how much you don't fear the coronavirus. Except for you're going to spread it to other people, you dumb motherfucker. So that's the problem with that. You know, the government really needs to step up and start shutting these motherfuckers down. Like, free speech has its limits. When you say shit that's going to get people killed, don't agree with it. Fuck off. And god damn it, we need to fight back against Islam. Like, Islam, that shit. It doesn't affect me in America as much as Christianity does, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't fight back against it, because Islam is still incredibly fucking dangerous to the world. And some imams are telling their followers that Muslims are immune to coronavirus. Spoiler alert! You're not. You're not. Muslims are dropping dead all over the fucking place. Okay? Your fucking God does not give a shit. Allah don't give a fuck. You are not immune. Some imams in Somalia are saying Muslims are immune to COVID-19, going against senior Muslim scholars who have insisted the coronavirus pandemic is a severe threat to all people around the globe. A medical worker in the country told Al Arabiya English, the rumor is putting Somalis at risk and working against efforts to try to educate the population of 15 million about the threat of the outbreak. The medical source added that people are very religious in Somalia. We believe what our imams tell us more than any doctor or any government. And, you want to feel sorry for these people for how stupid they are. I want to be like, oh my God, they're stupider than normal people. They're even stupider than Americans, but they're actually not. I mean, believing your imams is slightly, in my opinion, smarter than believing fucking Donald Trump, which is what is happening in this country. A majority of white evangelicals trust Donald Trump for coronavirus news. This is why we're in such trouble, folks. A guy who was told, more than 8,000 lies, 8,000 documented lies, more documented lies than anybody in the history of the presidency. He's only been in there 3 years. Believe him more than our health experts, more than the CDC, more than the World Health Organization, more than anybody. More than half of white evangelicals, 51.7%, said they rely on Donald Trump for news about the coronavirus, in case you need more reasons to never trust their judgment about anything. Writing for Christianity Today, Ryan P. Burge highlights how white evangelicals are far less likely to trust public health officials, doctors and scientists and epidemiologists than the public at large when it comes to virus news. Instead, they want Trump's lies injected directly into their veins. The Trump administration was named by white evangelicals as the source they would most likely rely on as a major source of news. Literally the number one source of fake news, folks, next News or OAN. That was followed by national news networks and local news outlets. Public health officials were the fourth most consulted source. So, man, if we needed any more proof of the danger of religion, folks, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Almost feels like we really are living in the end times, like these people are going to bring about it. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy where they're trying to kill us all. This could have serious ramifications, says Burge. If people are receiving conflicting messages and cannot agree on the severity of the coronavirus, slowing its spread and finding a cure could prove to be much more difficult. No shit. The number one way this shit is going to get spread is probably by churches. You motherfuckers are going to get everybody killed, but who cares, right? Jesus and all that fucking bullshit. At least we're going to go to heaven and get our mansion. Yeehaw! God damn it. And, this is an odd one. GOP lawmaker says wearing health screening sticker is like what the Nazis did to Jews. You remember when a pandemic broke out in Germany and they were trying to protect the Jews from it? So the ones that got coronavirus or the pandemic, they gave them a sticker so they could warn everybody else who came in contact with them that they should get checked out to make sure the Jews stayed healthy and happy and lived through it. Remember that happening in Nazi Germany? Sure you do. That's what happened, and we're repeating the horrors of Germany again right now. Apparently, says this dumb motherfucker. Let me try that again. Late last week, frustrated with the idea of having to wear a sticker indicating he'd been tested for COVID-19, Alaska State Representative Ben Carpenter emailed all of his colleagues to ask if they were also available as a yellow Star of David. Like we did the Jews. In other words, he was comparing his health screening ticker to the mark Nazis placed on Jews during World War II. It didn't go over well, mostly because Carpenter showed how little understanding about both virus and the Holocaust. Alright, so this is already dumb enough. But then the sentence he says at the end, let me just read this shit. Instead of apologizing, Carpenter doubled down by defending Hitler against charges of white supremacy. No shit, he did this. But Carpenter dug in. Can we even say it is totally out of the realm of possibility that COVID-19 patients will be round up and taken somewhere? You mean like the hospital? That's where they should be, dude. Like, you need to be in the hospital, quarantine, where they can treat you and shit, right? I don't know. He said later in an interview with the Anchorage Daily News, arguing that officials are overreacting to the virus with limits on people's liberty. Now, here's the interesting sentence. Here's the sentence he decided to add to this for some reason. Where the fuck did this come from? People want to say Hitler was a white supremacist. No! He was fearful of the Jewish nation. And that drove him to some unfathomable atrocities. Why you gotta fucking throw this in there? Why you gotta defend Hitler against white supremacy? Guess what, dipshit? Hitler was a white supremacist. Incredibly fucking so. What the goddamn hell? Imagine being a fucking state representative and thinking, hey, I'm just going to throw a sentence in about how Hitler wasn't a white supremacist for no goddamn reason into my interview with this fucking newspaper. That'll go over great, won't it? Like, what the fucking shit, dude? They just outright saying the quiet parts out loud. Alaska! Get this fucker out of there! What you doing? I know it's cold up there, but are your brains frozen? You gotta be able to do better than this. You can't possibly be doing worse. And I do want to give credit where credit is due, folks. I don't do it very much. But there are a few churches out there who are actually behaving responsibly. And so I want to give a pat on the back. Pastor Coalition in Georgia. We've seen too many deaths. It's too soon to reopen. Amidst all the Christian obstinacy, the posturing, and the law breaking, there are also pastors who have this take on the COVID-19 crisis. Life is precious. Let's not waste another one. Let's not reopen yet. Let's wait and see before we gather again. Safety first. So good. They're not merely complying with state orders. We're talking about Georgia, of all places, where Governor Brian Kemp is seeing horrible poll results after choosing to reopen the state weeks before numbers from the Centers of Disease indicate it was wise. Even fellow Republican Donald Trump was unhappy with Kemp's decision, or was he? Most Georgians are too. The church leaders I mentioned, a loose coalition of about 30 pastors, are free to throw their church doors wide open, but they're doing the responsible thing, staying closed for now. So good on you guys. Want to give you a little pat on the back. You're one of the good ones, at least when it comes to that bullshit goes, except for, you're still spreading bullshit and propaganda and lies in order to con people, but at least you're doing it safely, so I'll give you a little bit of credit for that. And so now, let's take a break and we'll read the chats. What you guys got to say in the chats? Are we shaken to our core about how stupid religion is yet? Trusting Donald Trump for Captain Trump's news. More natural selection, except they're going to kill other people. That's the only bad part about that. So sad. We know perfectly well how to make vaccines, but it takes some fine-tuning to make sure they do the job and don't make your immune system go posted on you. I know they have to be tested, right? Science! It's amazing. I'm lucky enough to be relatively healthy, but I'm living with 2 family members who are high risk. Yep, that's how I feel when I have to go to my mom's house. I have to take precautions because I'm fine, but I don't want to get her sick. I couldn't live with myself if I got my mom killed. Dusty, you make me real lusty. Well, you obviously have great taste. Appreciate that. Maybe we'll do sex later. Sex. Yummy. I care about global warming. Don't want to survive COVID-19 to die from an out-of-season tornadoes. I know, right? I'm about to have to get me another fucking air conditioner. Like 2 big industrial-sized air conditioners for this fucking room, because Mississippi hot as shit. Why are you playing those video games? Dusty, you're getting rusty. Why are you playing those video games? Did you dye your hair? Or 40 years overnight, I dyed my hair. I went totally white at the age of about 23 years old. It's a genetic thing that runs on my mom's side of the family, where all the men go completely solid white in their early 20s. And so I dyed it for about 20 years, and I was like, nah. My girlfriend kept telling me how much better it looks white. She's like, Silver Fox, it looks so good. Why you keep dyeing it? And I'm like, but everybody says how old I look. And she's like, fuck those motherfuckers. You look old and sexy like a vampire. So I was like, fuck it, yeah. And I think it looks pretty good, so I'm going to start rocking the white hair. Why not? I'll be like Steve Martin. See, I look old for the next 40 years, but I look the same for the next 40 years. So that's the cool thing about it, I'll look like I won't have aged in 40 years. I'll just always be old this whole time. So it'll work. Trust me. All right, let me check the super chats. Super chatty chat. Oh my God, super chats. Where the fuck is it? Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. Alright, read that one. Lisa for Truth. Hi, Dusty for the animals. Appreciate that, Lisa for Truth. Love you. Lisa for Truth. Jehovah's Witness already said no to vaccine. I know I read about that, man. Don't get people killed, but they don't give a shit. You're going to go to heaven and, I don't know, live with a guy who... Isn't that the one where they believe a guy looked at a hat? Golden plates in a hat. Bugatti! What's up, Hollywood Horn? Thank you for the $5. Appreciate that. Alright. More super chats, please! Dusty is a silver fox. Ow! Yes, I am. Silver fox. Less vampire, more like the Witcher. I know I need a big scar on my face. Wish I was ripped like that sexy motherfucker. God damn it, Henry Cavill. How you gonna compete with that motherfucker? Some of those guys just make me so goddamn mad. Like, I can compete to a certain degree, but you can't compete with people like, I can't compete with the fucking Rock. Can't compete with goddamn, oh my god, big, sexy Kevin Nash. Can't fucking compete with Henry Cavill. Can't compete with, what that dude's name that was the goddamn Aquaman. You know the one I'm talking about, called Drago. That motherfucker so goddamn sexy. Can't compete. What's his name? Jason something. I know what it is. I know, but it hurts my brain that the bars. Dusty, does it help you the most to watch this on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or what? I don't really make any money off any of this, folks. But I mean, I guess it might help the algorithm better if you watch on YouTube and you like it. Like the video, folks. If you haven't already liked the video, please smash the like button or the dislike button. Either one, just do something. Action is what's called for here. And if you're watching this broadcast, not live, on the repeat, be sure to leave a comment because YouTube loves that shit. That's the only way to get me involved in the algorithm because YouTube only cares about engagement. So be sure to engage. And William Johnson, have you checked out the Wu-Tang and American Saga yet, Dusty, for the kiddies? No, I have not checked that out yet. I saw it on Netflix, thought about watching it, but for some reason I never did. So I will check that out. Thank you for the recommendation. More recommendations of shows you guys think I should check out. And I appreciate that. I will buy the kitty something good for you. Jason Momoa, that's what a sexy ass name is. Fucking sexy goddamn Jason Momoa. If I was gay, I'm definitely obviously not gay. But if I was, I would do bad things to Jason Momoa. Bad things in a good way. He'd love it, but in a bad way. He's married to Nutty Lisa Bono. I know, like, I don't want to hate on his relationship choice. I just think he could do better. That's just my opinion. But maybe he loves her. You know, maybe that's his dream girl, and who am I to shit on his love? So, bad Dusty. Bad Dusty. All right, let's continue on the show. More super chats, please. Last chance getting your super chats before we end the show. I'm going to do about another 20 minutes. All right, where are we at? All right, here we are. That was all our coronavirus coverage, folks. Now we're going to get into some other religious bullshit. And so, anyway, you guys might be familiar with Roe versus Wade. That's where the Supreme Court ruled that abortion should be legal all across the lands, and everybody rejoiced. Hooray! Supreme Court got one right. Well, the woman who brought the case to the Supreme Court, her name was Norma McCorvey. She is the Roe in the Roe versus Wade. She is responsible for, I guess, suing for the right to have an abortion, and is the reason that today women across the country have the right to choose. But then, in 1995, she came out and she was like, I don't even agree with abortion. I believe abortion should be illegal. And of course, Christians were like, yeah, we got one. We got like Roe and Roe versus Wade to come forward and talk about how evil abortion is. This is like a big get for us. This is like a big celebrity endorsement for our side, right? It's fucking Roe of all people. Hell yeah. So she went around the country with these Christian organizations talking about how evil abortion was and how she didn't agree with women's right to choose anymore. And surprise, surprise, folks, she made a deathbed confession recently that I guess it was in 2017, but it's coming out in a documentary that they paid her to say it. These Christian motherfuckers bribed her to say it. The LA Times, Meredith Blank explains, I was the big fish. This is what she says. I think it was a mutual thing. I took their money, and they put me out in front of the cameras and tell me what to say. That's what I'd say, she said, in AKA Jane Roe, which premieres Friday on FX. It was all an act. I did it well, too. I'm a good actress. In what she describes as a deathbed confession, a visibly ailing McCorvey restates her support for reproductive rights in colorful terms. If a woman wants to have an abortion, that's no skin off my ass. That's why they call it choice. The groups that paid her include Operation Rescue, now Operation Save America. They always have these fucking names that are supposed to be propaganda, folks. These jingoistic names. We're saving America. Once led by Pastor Rob Schnack, or Shank, however the fuck you pronounce that stupid name, who now also regrets his anti-abortion past. So this guy who led the organization that paid her is pretty much now on record saying he regrets being against abortion and admitting that, they paid her. That's what fucking shameless cons these religious people are. Schneck said she was paid out of concern that she would go back to the other side, he says in the film. There were times I wondered, is she playing us? And what I didn't have the guts to say was, because I know damn well we were playing her. So, yep. It's unclear how much she was paid, but they paid her. They paid her to come out and shill for their side of it. No surprise here, folks. They fucking have no integrity. They will lie. They will steal. They will cheat in the name of Jesus in order to forward their narrative of things. And this is just one amazingly specific example of that. And another example of how we got to start pushing back against Islam more. For some reason, we got to drop the ball on Islam, and I know it's because a lot of people were just being racist or whatever you would call it. I know Islam is not a race, but they were using it as an excuse to be racist towards Arabs and Middle Eastern people and whatnot. And that's uncool, folks. That's uncool. These people are oppressed enough, like in American society. They're shit on and called terrorists and stuff enough, and you shouldn't do that simply because people are Muslims. But absolutely, we should fight back against this vile religion. Like places like Pakistan, where the story is about to be talked about. Pakistan girls are murdered by relatives for appearing in video with a boy. Like, we need to put pressure on these countries, man. We need to use the internet as a cudgel to beat these motherfuckers over the head and shame them until their society changes. They're on the internet now, too. We can absolutely use social pressure to change these motherfuckers. Honor killings are committed an estimated 1,000 times a year in Pakistan. It's always girls, man. They're killing 1,000 girls a year for fucking nothing, folks. Imagine how terrifying it is to be a girl in Pakistan. The exact number is elusive. Most of these murders never come to light because the victims' bodies are disposed of and the community hides behind a wall of silence. This one, however, didn't stay secret for long. 2 teenage girls had been murdered in a so-called honor killing in northwest Pakistan following a video circulated on the internet. They are said to have been shot dead by family members earlier this week. The murders came after a video appeared on social media showing the girls with a young man, police said. The 2 men were reportedly arrested on Sunday in connection with the case. The 2 men were the father of one of the victims and the brother of the other victim. Fucking pieces of shit. The reason behind the killings of the 2 girls, aged 16 and 18, was believed to be a video which shows a young man recording himself with 3 young girls in a secluded area outdoors. It appeared the video was shot nearly a year ago and probably went viral on social media a few weeks ago. So this video all of a sudden went viral. They're just literally in a video with a dude. And it gets them killed, folks. We have to start speaking out against Islam again. We can't fucking just be silent. These goddamn people need to be shamed into joining the rest of us in modern society. Even though, like, the modern society of America is not that modern, at least there are some sections of our society that are way more modern than this. I mean, at least in our country, honor killings are not a thing that will be covered up by society. So that's slightly better. But fuck everything about this. Fuck these people. Fuck these goddamn primitive screwheads. Oh, hell no. And I'm sorry to the women that live there. I'm sorry to the oppression that you're undergoing. I can only imagine how terrifying it must be to live your life thinking you might be killed simply because you appeared in a video with a dude. Holy fucking shit, that's depressing. This is why we fight, folks. And you ever wonder how easy Christian schools are? Well, the answer is incredibly fucking easy. And here they are bragging about how easy their Christian school is. If you want an easy A, if you want to pass easily, just go to their schools, folks. It's almost impossible to fail because they don't really give a shit about educating you. They just want to get your money and be diploma mills. Let's hear them talk about it, shall we?
So here's the question. Can you fail Bible college?
Yes, you can fail, but it's going to be real hard.
But the tests are true, false, and multiple choice. The majority of them, and they're not overly difficult. And
but if you do fail a test, you get to retake it. You can study and retake it and stuff. So we do everything that we can to help you succeed. My philosophy is that the real test is when you get out of college.
Yeah, the real test is later on when you're not actually being tested at all. We've taught you absolutely nothing and gave you a diploma from our diploma mill that doesn't prepare you at all for real life. That's the real test. Good luck, fuckos. Pay up. Jesus needs his money. Next up, this Christian mommy blogger has horrible advice about sex. And this is, the transformed wife. Oh, yeah. Isn't this somebody who definitely want to take fucking advice for him? Christian blogger and professional mommy shamer Lori Alexander, aka the Transformed Wife, has been offering a lot of advice about sex this week, and it's just laughably awful. We shouldn't be surprised, though. This is the woman who claims women who aren't in the mood should always have sex with their husbands. Yeah, just do it, women. You don't have to be in the mood as long as he wants it. That's all that matters. Do what he says. You gotta be a good, obedient wife. You're basically just a hole for his cum to go in. So do your duties, wife, because God is watching and it would make him happy. God loves to watch you have sex with your wife. He's into it. That's his kink. Like if he was on Pornhub, he would be like amateur wife shit. And I know how God feels because that's my kink too, God. God has cool taste. That there's something wrong with you if you're not always in the mood. Probably too much premarital sex. Yeah, keep yourself horny at all times. Need to like shove Benoit balls up in yourself and just walk around with those day to day just to keep your vagina soggy for when your husband's ready to plow you like the fucking hole you are. And that any woman who disagrees should just get over it since it doesn't even take long. Yeah. If you're doing it right, your husband will just come like 5 seconds. You know your Christian husband is a 2-pump chump anyway. What's wrong with you? Just lay there and take it, women. This week, she insisted sex was only acceptable within the boundaries of marriage. That's fucking boring. And the fact that people have sex outside marital bliss has destroyed nations. Sex was created for marriage. No, it wasn't. Sex was created so animals would have sex, right? It was created so it would feel good, and animals would want to do it so they could impregnate the thing that they were having sex with, the female they were having sex with, and spread their DNA to the next generation. Has literally nothing to do with marriage whatsoever. Sex was created for childbearing. I mean, that's true. That is exactly what it was originally created for, although we know we can overcome our evolutionary limitations, right? No problem with that. You can just use birth control and enjoy the pleasurable aspects of it without having to have kids. And that's the great part about being sentient, intelligent beings that can overcome our biological programming. It's amazing. Hooray, science. Sex was created for pleasure only in marriage. Nope. Never been a single animal married. I mean, I guess probably some person married an animal, but I don't think the animal was in on it. No two animals ever got together and were like, hey, we should marry each other so we could have sex. Nope. That ain't the way it works. Sex was created to build families and nations. Well, it was created to have kids. If you want to say created, it was created by evolution, the process of evolution, to make it feel really good so that animals would do it and spread their DNA around. That's true, but we can overcome that. Lucky for us. But the way sex is being used today, it is tearing all of these down and destroying our nation. I know, right? God really hates it when you enjoy yourself. Fucking God's so mad that you orgasm without his permission. I know he's real mad at me because I orgasm like 3 times a day. Never fucking asked him once if he was okay with it. If he has a problem with it, I think he could come down and tell me himself. Looking forward to that conversation. Have sex with a man who respects you? Question mark. The only man who will respect you enough to have sex with you is a man who will marry you. What? What does that even mean? That is definitely not true. I respect a lot of women that I will have sex with, and I don't want to marry any of these women. No, thank you. I've been married. Pass on all that bullshit. Heads up, women. Men don't respect women who give sex away freely. I respect you. Who gives a shit? Like, you can do whatever you want to do. It's your body. Period. They are using you. Well, aren't you using each other? I think the misnomer here is that women want to have sex less than men do, and women want it just as fucking bad. Women are horny as well. They like the dick also. So, you're shortchanging the ladies. But that's because you're an asshole. So let's move on. Christian logic. Literally any outcome is proof of God's existence. Yep, and that he is good. That's true. No matter what happens to you folks, it's proof that God loves you. Got pancreatic cancer? 3rd-degree burns? Did you recently lose a parent, a child, a sibling, a friend, or your job? Don't fret. The Almighty only gives us nice big helpings of pain and sorrow because he wants to bind us closer to him. With the trials he puts us through, he's doing us a favor, believes Pennsylvania pastor Stephen Altrog. I don't know how you pronounce that, but from God's perspective, trials are sad, but also wonderfully productive. God uses trials to produce steadfast faith in us. Yeah, God wants you to have faith, which literally means belief without evidence. He wants you just to believe hard, and so he tortures you just to test that you're believing him. Like if it was easy, anybody could do it. So yeah, God just wants blind followers because he's a little bit insecure. He doesn't have to actually provide proof for anything. He just wants you to believe regardless. So he tortures you until you do, just like any loving parent would do. Worship him harder, bootlickers. Steadfast faith is faith that isn't easily shaken. That's the worst thing you want, steadfast faith, folks. Like I've repeatedly said, every single person who has been conned since the beginning of mankind was conned because they had too much faith, because they believed somebody when they weren't giving enough evidence where they should have believed them to begin with. Everyone ever. Steadfast faith is faith that holds fast to God even when it is buffeted and beaten. Trials force us to lean on God and trust Him. When we can't see the outcome, they knock our legs out from under us so that we'll cling to God. God never wastes our suffering. God, what an evil fuck. We can rejoice in our trials and even count them all joy. Yeah, it's all good, folks. God is torturing you because He loves you. Worst parent ever. Stop worshiping this goddamn monster. The fuck, y'all? And, good news, folks. At least, like I said before, one small good bit of news is coming out of the coronavirus pandemic. The Catholic Church having money trouble. We saw recently that the U.S. Catholic Church is, in the words of the Baptist editor, going broke. He didn't mean morally bankrupt. That ship sailed decades ago. But financially, now Reuters brings us news that the Vatican, too, is facing terrible economic times. The pandemic has wreaked havoc with the Vatican's finances, forcing it to dip into reserve funds and implement some of the toughest cost control measures ever in the tiny city-state. Against this bleak backdrop, top Vatican administrators held an emergency meeting in late March. They ordered a freeze on promotions and hiring and ban on overtime travel and large events. See, the Catholic Church is one of the most evil organizations in the fucking world, and unsurprisingly, so many of the motherfuckers that work in the top position are just these evil, basically mafia types that live these incredibly extravagant lifestyles where they drive real fancy cars, live in the best apartments, and have like golden thrones and cocaine parties constantly. We covered this on the show before. And so now it's actually hitting these motherfuckers who are having to cut back on their cocaine parties a little bit. So good, you fucks! Hope you go goddamn bankrupt. Hope you cease to exist soon. Like, literally, among the most evil organizations in the history of mankind. Couldn't have happened to a shittier group of, I want to call them human beings, but I'm not really sure they are. Like David Icke lizard people. That's sort of what the Vatican's like. And the Jesus Camp lady is back. Remember the Jesus Camp lady? Made that fucking insane-ass documentary where they're basically brainwashing children in the most horrific goddamn way and making them feel guilty and cry and because they're going to be tortured in an eternity full of hellfire if they don't follow this woman's cult. Well, anyway, she's back and she's teaching children how to speak in tongues because that's a real thing. And it looks like she's focusing on, I don't know if these are African children or Indonesian. I don't know what country these are from. It looks like foreign children. I guess she's now trying to brainwash people from all over the fucking world. So she released this video, folks. And hard to believe, I guess it's not hard to believe. Nothing's hard to believe these motherfuckers anymore. But she participated in an event tonight called, no joke, The Groan. And little on the nose, folks. At least they're honest. Definitely groan-worthy. A promotional video for it shows Fisher speaking Christian gibberish while a bunch of children appear to repeat what she's doing. This is supposed to endear us to God, I guess. I feel like I need to repeat this. It's a video promoting the event, not mocking this. This is the video they actually put out, thinking this makes them look good. Let's have a look.
Father God, I ask you in the name of Jesus that you would baptize me with your power, that you would baptize me with your Holy Spirit, that you would baptize me with fire so that I can work with you, that I can do your will on this earth, that I can flow in the Holy Ghost to do signs, wonders, and miracles. And I thank you for it, God, right now. Okay, boys and girls, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Kohora shidi kelebele kiando kohora jala kalabala boroburushida. Lingo korohore bidi 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 shondo kohora badada. Lingo hora zila kalabala boroburushoda. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Talk it. Speak it. Let it out of your mouth. Don't hold back. Ki koho shondo kohora shida.
Horrible, horrible brainwashing of children. That's what you call child abuse. Teaching kids that speaking gibberish somehow is communicating with God. This is the kind of strange shit they used to teach me when I was a kid. Someday I want to go to back to the Pentecostal church I was raised in. And I want to stand up and I want to start speaking in tongues. And then I want to start doing it in a really evil accent as though I am being channeled by a demon. So I'll stand up and be like, see what they do? Bet that would freak them the fuck out. But hey, it's just Jesus. Sometimes Jesus speaks in tongues in ways you're not used to. Don't shame me for my faith, goddamn Christian motherfuckers. And next up, let me put my glasses on so I can see what the fuck I'm doing. Right-wingers. Oh my God, these motherfuckers. So depressing. Right-wingers. Ahmaud Arbery's murder coverage distracts from Trump's greatness. Oh yeah, don't it? Ahmaud Arbery, as you probably heard, was senselessly murdered by two white men for the heinous crime of jogging while black or visiting a construction site while black, even though other white people visited that construction site. They didn't call the cops on them. They didn't shoot them. But anyway, by all accounts, the videotapes of the incident seems damning, but not according to Chris McDonald and Mark Taylor, two right-wing Christian activists who make a living by sniffing out conspiracies. Arbery was killed, they claim, on Monday night's MC Files show as part of some elaborate plan to harm Donald Trump. I knew it was going to happen over the weekend, McDonald said. They're going to turn this into a Trump-bashing, racially charged event. They're trying to distract. I look at this almost like you call it a red flag, a false flag. It's not that it didn't happen, but it was a distraction to get our attention off of Trump's fight against the deep state. That's right, folks, it happened. But they're just talking about to distract you from the real shit. You know, how Trump is fighting the deep state. That he definitely isn't a part of it anyway. So, yeah, don't believe it, folks. Don't believe that it's racist in any way. Clearly, he got what was coming to him, and they're just going to use it to bash Trump, who was put there by God. So don't let him do it. They're trying to start a civil war in this country, a race war, said the people who continuously talk about starting a civil war in this country. Taylor responded, they're trying to spark anything that they can right now to start riots or this. Literally what you guys are doing. You're trying to talk about a deep state and them using this to distract against Trump doing good things in order to instigate violence against people. Always, always, always projecting these motherfuckers. And the other to literally stop the election in November. And we just cannot fall for it right now. Nobody's trying to stop the election in November except for Donald Trump, who is trying to make it as hard to vote as possible because the more people that vote, the less likely it is that Republicans win. The only way they can win is by suppressing the votes. So liars, liars who lie, disgusting Christian assholes. Who's ever giving them a fucking platform should stop immediately. And two more, folks, so get in your super chats. Last chance. We're going to end the show here in about the next 10 minutes. Former Johnson City Police chaplain pleads guilty to 4 counts of incest, escapes jail time. And this is the worst written article I've ever fucking heard. They don't even talk about the incest. How can you not explain the incest? That's what I clicked on it for. I'm like, what? Who did he have incest with? How did he get away with that? But the article goes on to say a man who previously volunteered as a police chaplain escaped jail time after he pleaded guilty Wednesday to 4 counts of incest in Washington County, Tennessee criminals courts. Of course he got away with it. He's fucking chaplain and a cop, or related to the cops. Obviously they're gonna let this white dude get away with what the fuck he wants to do. Washington County detectives also accused Paget of hiring a hitman to kill the woman he's accused of sexually assaulting as a juvenile. He was charged with solicitation to commit first-degree murder. While in jail, investigator says, he offered a cellmate $1,500 up front, a vehicle, several guns and ammo, prescription medications, and a gun cleaning kit to kill the victim and her boyfriend. Paget wanted them to die in a car crash or any other means associated with the victim's medical condition, according to the police. Paget then offered to pay an additional $8,000 after they were dead, according to authorities, though charges were dismissed as part of a plea agreement. Yeah, don't put this guy in jail. Let him go. He sounds like the good sort. Let him out there, folks. He was a chaplain. Obviously a good Christian, God-fearing man. Don't put him in jail. Johnson City Police said Paget once volunteered as a police chaplain, but had not been active recently. So, yeah, Privilege, privilege. That's what they have. It's privilege, and it's sad. And last up, God damn it, these people are so fucking evil, folks. Religion is such an evil mess. Fox News guest, children don't deserve free food because that's communism. Here's what this stupid fucking cunt. I don't care. I don't care. Gender slur, fuck it. She deserves to be called a cunt. We're giving children free health care. I know, how horrible is that? You know, Jesus went around charging people an arm and a leg for health care. Why are we giving it free to children? We're giving them free food. Why are we doing that, folks? Let them go hungry. Teach them a lesson. Free emotional support. Don't emotionally support these children. You know why? That's dangerous. That's communism when you think about it. Yeah, folks. Supporting children emotionally is communism. Says Rebecca Frederick, conservative Christian activist. So look at this crazy batshit. God damn it, these people, folks. This is why we fight. Because these people claim they're the good guys when they're clearly the fucking bad guys in every goddamn way. Should be called out, but yet somehow these crazy fucks are in charge of the vast majority of our goddamn government. It's just insane and depressing. Yeah, blue-haired college kids. That's what we should focus all our attention on over the last several years and let all these motherfuckers take power. Shouldn't it, folks? That's a smart thing to do. Fuck everything about that. And that's all my religious bullshit for tonight. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's finish up by reading some chat. How dare these people be asked to do things so their fellow citizens don't die? I know, it's so horrible. Freedom. Freedom. Major Karen vibes. I know, I'm going to do a whole section Friday about Karens. We have a whole bunch of Karen videos, so stay tuned for that. Gibberish. Yes, it is absolutely gibberish. Evil doesn't cover it. I know, right? So sad. Let's see what the other chat has to say. Oh, the chat! Best tongue speaking ever. I know, right? I was definitely channeling God and not just talking bullshit off the top of my head. Definitely not. I am supernatural. What's up, skeptic Batman? Happy Wednesday, Matt Hill. Look at you speaking truth about the evils of the Catholic Church. Good stuff, brother. No problem. Do what I can. Like Steve Martin, he's looked the same for 40 years. I know, right? It's just genius enough to work. And let me check the super chat. Super chat. Awesome Dragon, $2 Canadian for all the cute little cats and dogs. Appreciate it. Only one we have in here right now is Penguin. Rest of them are out of the room for the moment, so hadn't got any cats to show you tonight, but they're around, they're lurking. I appreciate that. SXS Pecan, $10. Dustin, you look like Freddie Mercury. Personally, I think that if God were actually real, it would be him. You mean Freddie Mercury? If God was really be Freddie Mercury? Well, if God was real, then I guess Freddie Mercury would be dead right now. And he is incredibly dead. Rest in peace, Freddie Mercury. Thank you for the money. Appreciate that. Ron Skafisk. Hey, Dusty. Love your videos. Keep up the good work. Will do. Ron Skafisk. Appreciate that. Love you back. Rexol, $5. How much your house cost? My house cost $14,500, and it was 3,600 square feet. Nope, I'm not shitting you, folks. 3,600 square feet, $14,500. And you know why it was so cheap? White flight. I live in a place where white folks are so scared. So ridiculously scared to live next to black folks that they've abandoned these areas in droves. And of course, because of racism, the property values drop to nothing. And if you're not afraid to live around black folks, which I'm not, because it's exactly the same, it's probably the best place I've ever lived, you can get incredibly cheap houses around here. And I love my house. I might have to move, though, because I'm in the city limits and they're giving me shit about my dogs. But for now, it's pretty cool. So thank you for that. Edwards Spagward, $89, $2. Dusty, you should watch Virgin Tales by the Wilsons. All right, I will check that out. Is that anything like Veggie Tales? Because if so, got to check that out. Meldruck, $2. One for the fur babies. Thank you, Meldruck. Appreciate that. EO Manscode, $84, $5. Would you like to share with you, or would like to share with you, a piece I wrote after leaving religion, either audio or Word doc? Where would I send it? Your opinion would be welcome. I am available on Twitter at CultofDusty1, CultofDusty1, CultofDusty1. You can send me shit, my DMs there, and I will do my best to get back to you on that. It takes me a while to get back to people, so if it, if I don't get back to you immediately, just wait longer. It'll happen. Let's see. Elania Clark, what's up, Elania? $2. Watch Agora, #1 movie, shows early Christian extremism. Okay, I will check that out. Appreciate that. Agora. All right. Let me read the few chats, and then we're going to finish up the show. Freddie Mercury was such a loss in the music world, but then again, he'd hate a lot of the music today, probably. He'd think it was all corporate bullshit, I'm sure. Thanks for the Religious BS shows. Great stuff as always. You rock, Dusty. No problem, Spanky Weasel. I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's an honor to be there to entertain you. Please remember to leave a comment after the show. Definitely leave a comment. Smash the like button, folks. Please help me out. Gotta help the show to spread since YouTube has decided to remove me from the vast majority of the algorithm. The only way I'm ever going to grow is if you guys spread my videos and help share them, so I appreciate it. Good show tonight, Dusty. Hey, I felt really on tonight. I was nailing this shit like I nailed your mama. That's not funny. Thumbs up, folks. Smack it up, lick it, rub it down. Oh, hell yeah. That sounds amazing. White Flight was a very underrated 1970s prog rock band. Never heard of them, but I'll have to check that out. And if it's Prog Talk, I'm all about the Prog Talks. I will be back Friday, folks, for a brand new episode of Prog Talk. Be sure to tune in at 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern. Definitely gonna rock that shit. As always, you guys want to support the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon, patreon.com/codcast. There is a link in this description of the video where you can click on it. And $1 or $2 a month, whatever you can afford, please help out. You know you can. You know you can afford $1 or $2 a month. Do it. Do it. Help out so I can keep going with the Wednesday shows. There are also ways in the description of the video where you can send direct tips if you don't want to fuck with Patreon. All of it adds up, folks. All of it's really, really very appreciated. I will be back on Friday, folks. I love the shit out of you guys. Stay healthy out there. Stay sane. Stay safe. And as always, fuck God and logic. Boom. There we go. Fuck yes. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This is the greatest show. It's everything you ever want. Everything you ever need. Play, motherfucker. Do it. Play already. Play. Oh, my God. If you don't play, I'm going to destroy your whole God. Here we go. This is the greatest show.